lovely, lovely. It's nice to have a bit of applause on a Monday night. Now, welcome to the Chelsea Football Fancast, fuelled by Guinness, powered by celery, the show that never, ever takes a dive. Unless the ref isn't looking, of course. OK, I am Stamford Chidge, and the name of tonight's show is, you'll be amazed to hear, the Chelsea Football Fancast, Ducking and Diving. There we go. Now, Chelsea got back to winning ways this week, I'm glad to say, with a win in their final Champions League group game against Sporting Lisbon. Jose had promised us youth in the team. But all we got was Ruben Loftus-Cheek for an 8-minute cameo at the end when Jose believed the game to be safe. Will Jose blood the promising youth players, or is he too risk-averse? And in the light of 2 submissions and a fall, I should really say 2 bookings and a let-off for diving in the 2-0 win against Hull, was Jose unwise to declare that Chelsea players don't dive a few months ago? All these questions. Should we really care as to whether our players dive or not? After all, winning is everything, isn't it? We will find out, I think. Anyway, joining me on the show tonight, no Sophie Rose. I feel bereft. My better half is not here because she is off gallivanting, doing what young pretty things do on a Monday night at her work Christmas party. She elected to tell me this at lunchtime, but I love her, so I forgive her. But thankfully, we do have the beautiful Jonathan Kydd.
I'm doing my best to impersonate her.
So look at that lovely face.
Look.
Are they real? Are they real?
No.
You're dribbling at
I
yourself,
was dribbling
mate.
at myself.
That's really frightening.
I was drooling at my own.
Oh, that is just disgusting.
My own
I
breast.
really hope that you didn't get that in close-up because I did, and it was not pretty.
Yeah, happily they were on you, actually, I think.
Well, then they're lucky them is all I'm
It's
saying.
very nice to be this close to you, because normally
know.
you try and keep us apart.
I know, and I'm going to keep my beady eye on you tonight. We were together as one at the match.
We
on
were.
Saturday. We will talk about that later.
We will.
We've got Charlie back with us.
Hello.
Now I've got a new song. I've got a new song for Charlie, and I want everybody to join in. All right, you'll get the gist of it. Remember the Charlie Cook or the Keithy Weller? Ready? Charlie Skillen, Charlie Skillen on the wheel. You like that?
Very much so.
Yeah, I thought so. So we got Charlie back. How are you, mate? You all right?
Very well, Chidge. Thank you very
Good
much.
to see you in the booze before the game, of course.
Yes.
Last, but by no means least, a man we haven't seen for a while, I'm sad to say.
It's been an age.
Yeah, it has, I know. You're welcome here any time, Dan, you know that.
I've seen about 100 games since I was last here, I think.
Well, it feels like it, doesn't it, for you? I mean,
Yeah.
you are at every one, of course, and thank God you are, because without you on Twitter, when I'm not actually at a match, I'll be well and truly stuffed. Fantastic to see you again, Dan. You're looking well.
Thank you very much. Lovely to be here.
Yeah, really good to see you, mate. Really, I'll be looking forward to this show for a long time. Now, on the benches, we have benches tonight. I believe we have cameras on benches, camera, light, action, benches, the gaffer, with a caption. How about that? A caption and a cheeky flat cap. How are you, mate?
All right.
Good. Yeah, you're all right. Yeah, good. Frog in your throat. We've also got the lovely Dan Silva.
Evening, Chidge.
How are you, mate?
You very well, and yourself?
It's great to see you. And
too.
you're on the telly again. We
I know.
missed you last week. It was awful, wasn't it? I know. Of course, I was with you at the football on Wednesday, wasn't I? Thanks
We
to
were.
your lovely ticket donation.
No, my pleasure. No, it was a good
It
game.
was. Of course, I didn't actually watch any of the game because I spent most of it talking to you, but there we go. We've also got, of course, a man who has been struggling to pass his fitness test for the last few weeks, but I'm delighted to say he's made the grade this week in spite of horrible back knack. How are you, Andy?
Not too bad, mate. Yeah, bearing up. Good to be back.
Excellent to see you as well. So there we go. We've got the proper hardcore of the benches tonight. I, for one, am very happy about that.
Is he on a cushion?
I don't know. Are you all right, Andy? You're comfortable there? Is there anything we
I'm
can
fine,
do for
yeah.
you?
Yeah, St John's are on standby.
Good man. That's what I would like to hear. Okay. Well, if there are any emergencies, we will, of course, rush out. I mean, there's a hospital up the road, so we're all in good shape. Now, if you lot out there want to be on the benches, now that we're back on TV and you can be famous, all you have to do is you send us an email to chelseafancast@gmail.com. That simple. Now, on the lovely little show we have for you tonight, we have, of course, got Ross's ratings for the Hull and the Sporting Lisbon games, although I don't think either of them are Ross's ratings this week.
Are they yours again?
I stole them from somewhere. Should I tell you where I stole them from?
That would be a good idea,
That's
I think.
that's kind of how I roll, you know. I've got no shame. I stole them from the ESPN's website because I saw that Marco Worrell, a great friend of mine and the show, does ratings for ESPN. So I stole his ratings, but I have to say, both his and the other bloke who did them on Saturday were far too generous. So I have Rossified them.
We'll be in there like
I've Rossified the ratings because they were too high.
They were too high.
They weren't. Anyway, we'll have that in a minute. Yeah, booing already from the benches. That's what I like to hear. Right, OK, now obviously, we're going to have a chat about the Hull and the Sporting Lisbon games, if we can remember them. I always struggle, as you know. And, of course, we will be awarding the fannies this week just for the... Well, I say just for the Hull. It's kind of a combined fannies this week, but they're mainly from Hull because I don't really remember what happened at Sporting Lisbon, thanks to talking to Dan. But, of course, you've got Man of the Match, Chant of the Match, Celery and Guinness Moments. Now, you have probably got, actually, about an hour to go and vote on the website because we're not doing that until part 5 this week. So you need to go to chelseafancast.com/the-fannies. So there we go. Now, at the end of the show, we will be having a little bit of Chelsea Chatter stats where Jonathan will read them in a proper voice this week.
Yeah. I won't even be veering into
no comedy.
else.
No, there's no comedy. Nothing to laugh about on this show. No. It's going to be very
from now
serious.
On, it's straight because we were too flippant last week.
Or as Monty Python used to say, no more silliness on this show.
Exactly.
Thank you. It's too silly. Dear old Graham Chapman. I had a Graham Chapman moment, though. A lovely bloke you was.
Impersonating
people. Next week, I shall wear a military uniform and a moustache and carry a cane in honour of Graham Chapman. That would be quite good, wouldn't it?
That would be a very good idea.
It would. Anyway, moving swiftly along, a bit of Chelsea Chatter stats, and of course, we've got loads of news this week. We've got stuff, loads of stuff coming up, and including a book that I've already lost that I'm going to show you later, but I will try and find it, and then I will show it to you, because it's rather good. Anyway, enough of that. Don't forget, of course, you can. I've got a new plan this week, and that is to actually read what you're tweeting and mixlering during the break so that I can talk about it at the beginning of the next part, because that's kind of what they do on grown-up TV. Oh, yes.
Do you want me to stand in for Sophie Rose and to read them for you?
I don't think you ain't a patch on her.
No, indeed, but just to help you out.
No, I think we'll confer during the break. How about that? So don't forget, whilst we're on air, in fact, anytime you like, really, you can tweet us at Chelsea Fancast, and, of course... if you want to listen to it, I can tell you that it is working beautifully, Mixler, because we are broadcasting from an iPhone. Forget £500,000 worth of technology in the studio. We don't need that. We're broadcasting from Mixler tonight on an iPhone. I love that. So if you want to join in the fun there, it's mixler.com/Chelsea-fancast. So I look forward to interacting with you in a social media type style in a minute. Now, before we do all of that, we're going to talk about some football, I'm amazed to say. We've got some ratings, I do believe. Have we got some ratings, people? Just wave generally when we have. I can read them out anyway. There we go. Whoa, we got them. Lovely. OK, I'm informed by Charlie, not that Charlie in the gallery, that we have 4 minutes to discuss the ratings, but I will read them first, and they are. Pericek, he got 6. Felipe Luis, he got 7. Cahill got 6. Terry got 8. Ivanovic got 7. Mikel got 7. Matic got 8. Hazard got 8. Oscar got 8. Willian got 7. Costa got 7. And the substitutes, Drogba got 7, and Schürrle and Ramirez did not play long enough to get any marks at all. What do you think of those, Dan?
I think there's an awful lot of 8s in there that don't need to be in there.
Yeah. You think it's too high?
I think it was a shocker.
So basically, when I said I'd Rossified them down, I lied.
Well, you know, I know we're all over-blessed with fantastic football these days, and it's very, very easy to say a game was rubbish when we won it anyway, but it was pretty poor, wasn't it? I didn't see anybody on that pitch that looked like an 8.
Well, who did stand out for you?
Not
that I like to put you on the spot at all in any way, shape or form.
Do you think that Hazard was an 8?
Hazard
in burst.
Hazard moved around very, very well. I mean, and he had a bit of a typically Hazard game, didn't he? He sort of drifted in and out a little.
Exactly.
You could say he was hazardous.
Yeah.
Very good.
No, you couldn't.
I just did.
And a 7 for Mikel.
Indeed.
I'm on the wind-up with that.
Okay, right, okay.
Indeed.
Why not?
I actually thought these were going to be the ratings for the game on the Wednesday.
Oh, well, they're even lower. No, but why not? I mean, why not?
I'm a big fan of Mikel. I like him, and I know
he was solid. He got stuck in. Hull had a go at them.
Stuck into the pitch mostly. You know, he looks slightly rustier than sort of a 1954.
The rusty, that bird on the weather, wasn't it?
Something that had been sat in the garage for about 3 decades. That's how rusty he was.
Yeah, my wallet.
There isn't really much of a comparison between him and Fabregas. That's the problem. Is once you have the Porsche of Fabregas with the rusty. And it depends what kind of Porsche. Yeah, Ferrari. It's a Ferrari. Compared with the rusty 1954 whatever
Skoda.
it is.
Yeah.
I think they invented Skodas by then. What was it? Must have been an Austin.
Trabant.
Yeah.
He's a Trabant. Is that what you're trying to say?
No.
An Allegro or something.
Yeah,
That's in the 70s, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I think he's more of a Volvo, really. Boring and predictable and solid.
Swedish. No, he's Nigerian.
He came from Norway, didn't he?
He did, actually, that's true, yeah. Was it Malmo? Was he playing for?
No, I can't remember, some obscure
No,
team.
that's
We
right.
digress. Charlie, who stood out for you? Why are my ratings shocking this week? Because I think what you boys are really trying to tell me.
Yeah, I agree they're far too high. I think...
Yeah, no, I just want to point something out. When I go too low, you always say, no, they're too low, they should be high. When I go too high, you say, no, they're too high, they should be
Perhaps
lower.
there's an average that you should be aiming for.
Yeah.
Thankfully, they've only got 1 minute to berate me. Carry on.
I mean, it was certainly our most laboured win of the season.
I don't think it's that laboured.
I do. I think, I mean, it was so crucial to get back to winning ways in the league after Newcastle. I think actually Philippe Luis getting a 7 would be something I have an issue with rather than a 6. Just don't think it was very
Luis
good.
did he got a 7. What's wrong with that?
I think he deserves a 6.
I think he deserves an extra point for getting clouted by Huddleston. You know? Maybe actually the 7 is for the amount of holes that are in his knee, having tangled with Huddleston.
The amount of holes he leaves behind him
Indeed.
and back, I'd say.
Can I make a late bid, maybe an early bid for man of the match? And for me, that would be Steve Bruce, because he blocked out most of the match from where I was sitting. So therefore, I was more grateful to him than almost anyone else in the game.
Do you know what? I was sitting almost above you, but I will tell you more about that later, because we have got to go, I believe, to a very quick break, and then we're actually going to be talking about the game in more detail rather than Chidge getting coated off for rubbishy ratings. How about those apples? We'll see you in a sec.